Hi, everyone. Welcome to our talk. So today we're going to be talking about searching visibility through in-app events and promotional content. My name is Jorge. I am an ASO Manager at Vinted for about 2 years.
And my name is Quoc. I've been at Vinted since 2021. Not since I'm 21. Could have made me a co-founder. And yeah, the slides. Okay. First I will give you an intro about Vinted in case you don't know it yet. And then I'll address the workshop title. Next, I'll explain to you what in-app events and promotional content are. Afterwards, we'll show you specific campaigns that we've been running. At the end, Jorge will conclude with the learnings that we've gathered throughout the year. And if we have time, we can do Q&A at the end. Let's start. Vinted was founded 15 years ago by 2 Lithuanian students who wanted to create a platform to sell their surplus clothes and other items. And since then, it has grown to become the first Lithuanian unicorn and is employing 1,500 people across Europe. And today, Vinted offers a platform to sell your pre-loved items, and but we didn't stop there. We're not just a marketplace anymore. We expanded in new territories, not just geographically, but also business-wise. We started a new business called Vinted Go to provide a shipping service for parcels for our members. And also we secured a banking license so that we can handle our own payments or what other service providers. All of that in the pursuit of making sustainable consumption first choice. And to communicate all this, we have a very big marketing team with various channels. And we are a part of it, ASO. But we're a relatively new team, only 3 years old almost. And we are in charge of optimizing the App Store and Google Play Store page of our app. Initially, this included keyword optimization. But after a year, we realized that this doesn't have a big impact on our company, because Google data showed that most of our search traffic came through brand searches. So people knew about Vinted through TV ads, influencer campaigns, or other forms of advertising. And they just search for Vinted. And it doesn't take a magician to rank #1 for Vinted as Vinted. So therefore, we didn't put as much focus on keyword optimization anymore as we did in the first years. And but to answer the question if keyword optimization is dead, I have to deny that, because for small apps, it's still useful, which don't have a big brand. So there it might still be worth to rank for certain high volume keywords. But for big brands like ours, which are known and people will search directly for it, the effort is not worth it. And instead, we've been focusing on conversion rate optimization, because most of our traffic will come to our Google Play and App Store pages. And for our company, the impact is bigger if we optimize our Google Play and App Store pages in terms of images and copy, so that it's more convincing to those potential users to convert them to installs. Additionally, a new feature emerged last years, which are in-app events and promotional content. In-app events are timed events happening in apps and games designed to engage existing users or acquire new users and get lapsed users back. Google Play has an equivalent called promotional content. And yeah, basically does the same. It used to be called Live Ops and was exclusively for games, but then they expanded it and made it available for apps as well. But it's still not fully out. It's still in the beta phase, and luckily we were part of this, still are. But next year they will launch it fully to all developers. And now why we decided to jump on this train. As I said, Vinted is an app-first company, which means that most of our campaigns will lead to the App Store and Google Play page. And in-app events and promotional content are perfect to better align with these campaigns. Because they usually people will only see our default page, which is at the moment about clothes, but we also have several other categories, and therefore these campaigns will perform better if a specific messaging is there instead of just sell clothes. Additionally, we have lots of new features that we are launching and other events, and therefore it makes sense to use promotional content in-app events. Also, both Apple and Google's editorial teams will feature those particular elements because they've been pushing it for the last year. And if you use them frequently, it signals to Google and Apple that your app is fresh, it has lots of content, and very innovative with new features. And for other apps like Netflix seasons and episodes and so on. And another plus is that it looks different than your usual default page. It is more interactive. You can set up a reminder to get notified once the event actually goes live, and creates more engagement. And another positive side effect is that on the App Store, if you have an app already installed, you won't see its creative in the search results because you already have it. So you kind of lose on real estate in the search results. But if you run an in-app event, you will get your creative back again there, and then you push your competitors down below the fold. And a bonus for keyword aficionados is that if you use or put keywords in your in-app event title, you might rank for this particular keyword. And now let's review our first year of running in-app events and promotional content. We've actually used them since 2021, but only once or twice a year. But since this year, January this year, we focused more on it. In the past year, we ran 10 events, and these ranged from engaging influencer campaigns to promote closet launches, where an influencer would upload their items to Vinted for their followers to buy. And there it was pretty important to set up a reminder because those sold out very quickly. And also we ran promotional content and in-app events for long-awaited features like the material filter or item verification service. And we aligned with product marketing team and other marketing teams on this to create a seamless experience for them, from seeing it for the first time on Instagram, for example, to then see it in the App Store, and then getting redirected directly to the page of that influencer, for example, so that they get deep linked there and don't have to search for the name or anything, and to make the user experience better. And during these campaigns, we witnessed up to 7.9 install uplift on the App Store. And on Google Play, we saw up to 4.5 uplift in activity versus baseline. And Jorge will now show you some examples in more detail.
All right, now, so before I start on the first example of the in-app event and promotional content that we have, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the climate impact report that we had at Vinted. This was, summarizing it a little bit, this was research that we had performed where we came into the conclusion that buying secondhand over new is better for the environment. These are kind of like a little bit of some details that you can find on it. If you want to check it a little bit more, you can find it on this link over here. But this is just to kind of like introduce you to the next slide. This was a huge effort through our various Vinted teams, and we decided to take this opportunity to join the campaign and promote it with an in-app event and promotional content. Yes, these are the results that we got for an event. It initially ran only on countries where the climate impact report was available, because this was not available in all of our markets. It was, as I said, it was our first international campaign, and on the App Store we saw 1.5% impressions to interactions ratio. It was also featured during Earth Day on the App Store. And then on Google Play, we saw a 0.15% conversion rate. Now, yeah, this was the first time that we ran a special event, so we were very interested in to see what kind of like results we would get from this. Now, on to the next one that the next example that we have today is the materials filter. This was the first time that we were actually doing a major update. So we actually had no baseline to compare it to before. It was the first global campaign, because this was actually launched throughout all of the countries that where we have the Vinted app. This was a long asked feature by our users for a very long time, so it was very interesting. We were very interested to see what kind of results we would get from this. On the App Store, we saw a 0.9% interaction ratio, and then on Google Play, we saw a 0.06% conversion rate. Of course, we saw a little bit of like a less performance from when comparing to the previous campaign, but then at the same time, it was the first time that we were running a major update, so we were still interested to see what kind of results we would get from this. Now, on to the next major update that we had. We had item verification. This was also a huge effort by various teams in Vinted. Item verification is basically a service that we're providing users for a fee that they can go ahead and verify high-value fashion and ensure that these are authentic before they receive the item. We are actually currently running this. So it's so in-app events and promotional contents are ongoing at the moment. These are the results that we got initially for 4 countries. So on the App Store, we saw a 1.3% interaction ratio, and then on Google Play a 0.06 conversion rate. And on Google Play, it was actually featured on the apps page. So we saw a little bit of better results for our first 4 markets when comparing it to the previous major update that we ran. So yeah, it's still ongoing, and we're still trying to see how it's going to perform versus our previously run efforts. Now, moving on to the learnings that we have had this year. So yeah. Basically, in the past year, I think it was the first in-app event that we run was actually influencer closet launches. So basically, an influencer comes and promotes their closet in their social media handles, and we noticed that in order to get better results, if there is an in-app event or promotional content that features limited stock items, it is better to actually publish the in-app event and promotional content before the event actually starts, so users can sign up for a reminder and generate better results. It happened to us that we had launched a closet launch just on the day off, where the influencer put up the items for sale, and we did not get good results at all. We actually could not even see any results on the App Store, because in order to be able to see results on the App Store for in-app events, you have to generate at least 5 first-time downloads. So it is important that for these kind of events that it features limited item stock, to set up publish it before, so users can set up a reminder. Now, next, depending on what kind of event and content type you launch, you may earn either more app opens, first-time downloads, or converters or re-downloads. So we saw that for new features and offers, you may bring more users, may bring inactive users back, and then for any special campaigns that you may launch, you may see an increase in new users. And then, yes, so this goes back to the feature that we got on Earth Day. We saw that in order to increase the chances to get featured, you should be mindful of any kind of timings and seasonality. Deep linking is very, 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 very important for in-app events and promotional content, because it provides users a good experience and also helps with conversion. We have also seen that conversion rate tends to be low because this is low intent traffic as compared to high intent traffic where users go ahead and are looking for Vinted, for example. Yes, in-app event and promotional content may bring an initial surge in impressions, which is going to stabilize after some time. And then, yes, so now I'm going to share a little bit of some painful learnings that we got from in-app events and promotional content. It was Friday, 5 p.m. I was getting ready to just get started with my weekend, and I realized that the deep link structure that we had done was not correct. So the in-app event was already submitted at 5 p.m. on a Friday, and we had an actual submission already happening, so I couldn't edit anything. So I was completely freaking out and decided to actually cancel the event. And then Quoc right here helped me out, actually providing the correct link structure. What had happened was that I had incorrectly assumed that the deep link structure would be very similar to another in-app event that we had launched. So what I got from this is just to always be mindful and be careful and check and QA your deep links before you're launching an in-app event and promotional content, because you never know if maybe the logic that you're following for the link structure is actually not correct. And also something else that happened to us was that for a limited time offer, we had put free in the metadata. The reason why free was there was because we had actually launched other free shipping offers that included the word free, and we were not getting penalized at all for it. It happened once. So the way that we got away with it, or not, avoided it, was that there are other ways to communicate free shipping. So we changed free and we put shipping at no cost, and then our in-app event and promotional content were accepted. Now, and then finally, this is something that has happened lately. For promotional content description, you have to be a little bit careful with call to actions, because if you include any call to actions on it, it might get rejected. Now, I guess we can get started with any Q&A. And, yep.
Hello. So you mentioned that the keywords used in the titles of in-app events can improve the ranking. So do you mean that keywords in titles are actually getting indexed? And is it the same case for promotional content's name and tagline? Thank you.
Yes. So if you put certain keywords in your in-app event title, it will rank, but not as high as if you put it in your app title. Of course, that's a relatively low factor. I would rank it in terms of App Store keyword ranking factors. The title is the highest, the subtitle and keyword field second, and I think in-app events are then third, or maybe there's something in between even. But it does have a minimal effect on it. It can amplify something that you already have in other things. But as I said, we don't do too much keyword optimization anymore. So we didn't experiment on it because it's very limited space, and we rather use it to bring our message across than rank at 20th position for Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, and you may initially see kind of like a surge in impressions and visibility, but then it's going to stabilize after some time. So it's don't see like very high impact from it actually.
And you asked about Google. I haven't seen it on Google being effective for keyword optimization. So I've only seen it on the App Store.
If you use a certain keyword, for example, we have a promotional content targeted learn French, and if someone searches in Google Play like learn French, is there a possibility they can see our promotional content the event?
On Google Play, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but on as I said, on App Store, yes, but not top 3, and afterwards it's not too useful anymore anyway.
So I have one question. How do you measure if you get really incremental downloads out of the promotional content?
Yeah, that's something we've been discussing with a data science team. It's very difficult because we launch these simultaneously with all the other campaigns, so we can't measure a baseline during these campaigns because at the same time all the other campaigns are also running. So we can't see anything on the deeper level than installs coming directly through this because people who we can see how many people saw these in-app events, clicked on it, expanded it, and then installed through this and not through the install button above. So we can assume that these installs come really because of this element. But everything else like registrations or revenue, anything like that, I wouldn't put my hand in the fire, we say in German, for the uplift that we caused.
Yeah, I think like this goes back to kind of like the ongoing topic in our team right now, which is attribution. So yeah, it's kind of like something that we're currently working on, and we really want to assess the impact of in-app events and promotional content, how it's actually translated into the KPIs that are important in Vinted.
Can I ask another question?
Of course.
You mentioned you're a very well-known brand. Are you working on optimization? So are you doing A/B tests on the main store page, or do you really say, okay, there is no significant at all because people are searching for brand and they will download the app anyways?
No, yeah, we're actually actively performing A/B testings on the App Store and the Play Store, and we are currently running tests on the main store listing and also in the custom store listing. So it's actually we do see that it's positively impacting our conversion rate to be running these tests.
And also, although most of our traffic comes through Vinted, even when people search for Vinted, we don't have a 100% conversion rate. So there's still room for improvement. Either they saw something on TV and don't recognize what they were looking for on the App Store pages. So there's always something that we can do better, even though, I don't want to lie, 90% of people who search for Vinted will download Vinted, but somehow other people will not.
Regarding measuring also kind of ROI, rather than focusing on the download baselines that are hard, what would you say about the cost of producing an in-app event or promotional content? Because I've heard some people find it to be very cheap to run, others find it very time-consuming or requires a lot of resources. So what can you share about that? Yeah,
for us it's relatively cheap, I would say, because for one we have our creative and copy teams in-house, and most of our main localization teams are also in-house. But this also causes cost, of course. They are working on it. But since these are campaigns on, or these support existing campaigns, it's not like hour-long work to think of a new creative, but it's just using a creative that already existed and resizing it to fit the in-app event and promotional content, aspect ratios or character limits, and therefore it's not too much cost. We haven't measured it yet, but we always do it with a lot of time for our teams to plan ahead, so that it's not cause any work overload for them. And for now, we haven't heard any complaints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and although we're repurposing other assets from the campaigns that other teams are using. For example, for a shipping campaign that we ran recently, we repurposed some of the imagery that was used for some performance marketing campaigns, but then we did not see very good performance using it. So we are actually, although we cannot A/B test on with promotional content and in-app events, we still kind of want to see what's actually working better. So, for example, now, although we may repurpose in the future assets, for example, like for the previous campaign, we used an asset with an actual user showing up on the image. We're thinking about, okay, maybe next time that we run an in-app event and promotional content, maybe an illustration is actually more interesting for a user. So, although we are repurposing assets from other campaigns, we'll still kind of want to see if maybe using an illustration or an original graphic made for the in-app event or in promotional content will work better. So still, it's something that we take into account.
Yeah. What do you plan into the app in order to match with the event?
Can you elaborate?
The content in the app. Mm-hmm. So you have the event and the deep link, and inside the app, what do you plan?
Yeah, it depends on the campaign that we promote. For example, as I said, if we have a closet launch, we link directly to the profile of that user. Mm-hmm. If we have a new feature, we usually have a landing page. We call it info board. It's like a blog post, basically explaining what the purpose is, and we can deep link to it because we have also in our app kind of in-app browser, which you can't use as a browser, but you can deep link into web pages and landing pages, and we deep link to that. Or if there's some challenge or not a challenge, but a campaign on gift secondhand, for example, if you want to create or gift someone on Christmas something secondhand, we have a hashtag on our search results, and we can deep link to the search results, and this way put people into the context of what we are promoting, instead of just opening the app and have them search for it by themselves. And promotional content actually just added deep linking. Until autumn, it wasn't available. They were assessing the benefit, and they even had a big roundtable with app developers, giving them feedback to tell them why it's valuable to have deep link. They didn't understand it for some reason, but they could be convinced and added deep linking back. They used to have it and removed it for some reason. Added deep linking back to promotional content, and since then we've been using it because it's a better user experience than just throwing them into the water.
Thank you, and thank you for the presentation. And my question is, if you had the chance to experiment with the targeting, because you said that advertising in the future is appealing for all users. So if you had the chance, instead of targeting all users, if you see that better performance targeting new user only or existing user.
This is actually something that we're currently planning because as mentioned before, certain kinds of events that we saw that are performing better for new users, some other kinds of events are performing better for returning users. This is actually something that we can that you can select. I think it's on
App Store only.
On the App Store only.
Google Play, no? But I know that on Google Play, Google tends to boost the events that are promotional content that are performing good. So but it's also true that you cannot target all users on Google Play, but in general, my question was if you are experimenting with.
We just for the first time used something to target only existing users because we don't see the benefit for new users, or it might confuse them even if they see it. So for the latest event, which is a new category of ours, we want to target it only to existing users because new users usually know us as a fashion clothes selling platform, and seeing now that our app is mainly about selling and buying decorations, might not connect with them, and they might jump off.
Thank you.
All right. I guess if there are no more questions, I think this is it. I hope we hope that you enjoyed it. Even if you have any kind of like additional questions for us, you can just go ahead and approach us, and we'll gladly help out. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.